Bryson DeChambeau advocates for stricter pace of play rules at British Open 2025. At the British Open 2025, Bryson DeChambeau faced a unique situation that sparked a broader conversation about golf's pace of play. Imagine being watched closely by officials during one of the biggest tournaments of your career. That's exactly what happened to DeChambeau, and he didn't mind it one bit. On Saturday at Royal Portrush, Northern Ireland, DeChambeau and his playing partner, Nathan Kimsey, found themselves lagging behind schedule. As they approached the 17th hole, a rules official stepped in to monitor their pace. But here's where it gets interesting. DeChambeau wasn't just okay with it, he actually welcomed the scrutiny. After completing his third round with a solid 68, DeChambeau expressed his support for a more rigorous pace of play policy. He suggested that every player should be timed on every shot throughout the entire round. You eventually time everybody for their whole entire round, DeChambeau stated. It's very simple. Nobody wants to do it, people are too scared to get exposed, which I am an advocate for. I'd love to be timed, and I have no problem with that. Despite the pressure, DeChambeau and Kimsey managed to finish strong, both carding 68s. However, they admitted to struggling with the pace throughout the day. The duo was placed on the clock after DeChambeau successfully navigated a tricky spot near the par 3 16th hole. DeChambeau, who has faced criticism for slow play in the past, drew a comparison to fellow golfer Dustin Johnson. While Johnson is known for his quick and decisive full swings, he tends to be more deliberate on the greens. DeChambeau explained that he was doing his best to move quickly, but the greens at Royal Portrush were particularly challenging. I was moving my butt as fast as I could, but the greens were really tricky, and I was trying to read them correctly, he said. The issue of pace of play has been a hot topic this week, especially after Rory McIlroy's high-profile group took nearly 6 hours to complete the first round. Several factors contributed to the slow pace, including the challenging course conditions, a steady breeze, and a large field of 156 players. However, DeChambeau believes the problem is deeper than these temporary issues. That's the way people play, he observed. One day, I hope we can have a better system. And this is the part most people miss. The debate over pace of play isn't just about timing players. It's about finding a balance between maintaining the integrity of the game and ensuring that tournaments run smoothly. What do you think? Should all players be timed on every shot, or is there a better way to address the issue? Share your thoughts in the comments below. DeChambeau and Stenson blast RNA over slow play at the Open 2025. Out of control, DeChambeau and Stenson take a swing at Open's slow play chaos. In the wake of a highly debated penalty imposed on Shane Lowry, two former major champions, Henrik Stenson and Bryson DeChambeau, have voiced their concerns over the RNA's handling of slow play at the Open Championship. Following separate incidents during Round 3, both players found themselves at odds with the tournament's timekeeping. On the first day at Royal Portrush, it took nearly 6 hours for 3 groups to complete their rounds. DeChambeau, visibly frustrated, commented, "The first 2 rounds were out of control, that's what I witnessed." By Saturday, with players paired up, the average round time had been reduced to just over 4 hours. However, groups involving Stenson and DeChambeau still received warnings for timing violations. Stenson, the 2016 Open winner, expressed his frustration to referees after signing for a 69. "We received a warning on the 10th green that we were 3 minutes over, 5 minutes beyond the allotted time," Stenson explained. "I joked with others about the first 2 days, how the first round took an hour over the allotted time, and the second was 4 to 5 minutes over. I said, we'll just wait until halfway through Saturday or Sunday, and someone will tell us we're 2 minutes over and start pushing us. That's exactly what happened. It feels inconsistent to me that an hour over time one day and 2 minutes over the next are treated so differently." DeChambeau, after scoring a 68, shared his bewilderment. He confirmed his pairing was put on the clock on the 17th hole. "I was moving as fast as I could," he said. "The greens were tricky, and I needed time to read them. It's simple. We just need a system that times every single shot. It's not rocket science." Everyone plays differently, and a fair system would help everyone. If someone is playing too slow, just tell them. Time every shot, from when they put their bag down to when they hit the ball and walk to the green. It's straightforward. Lowry, who faced a 2-shot penalty, was hesitant to revisit the controversy. However, he did acknowledge the support from fellow players. Something needs to change, John Rahm commented on the rule that caught Lowry. Lowry insisted on Friday that he did not see his ball roll backward during a practice swing, despite the official's decision. But here's where it gets controversial. The current system raises questions about fairness and consistency. Isn't it time for a more equitable approach to slow play? And this is the part most people miss. Could a system that times every single shot be the solution, or does it risk stifling the natural rhythm of the game? What do you think? Share your thoughts below. The Open continues to grapple with the balance between pace and tradition, a debate that's bound to spark differing opinions among fans and players alike. How would you solve the slow play dilemma? Let us know in the comments. Bryson DeChambeau's solution to golf's pace of play problem. Imagine this: you're standing on the 18th green, the sun is setting, and you're still waiting for your group to finish their round. Sound familiar? That's the reality of golf's out-of-control pace of play, and Bryson DeChambeau has had enough. The man who's not afraid to stir the pot in golf has a bold proposal to fix the slow play that's been plaguing the sport. But here's where it gets controversial. DeChambeau's solution might just ruffle more feathers than it smooths. So, let's dive in and explore his idea, and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Agree or disagree, we want to hear from you. Toward the end of his third round at the Open Championship, Bryson DeChambeau was visibly frustrated. He had breezed through the front 9 but struggled on the back, and to make matters worse, officials were timing his group. DeChambeau has long been vocal about his disagreements with how golf's governing bodies enforce pace of play, and this day was no different. Once again, pace of play was a hot topic at a major championship, with many rounds creeping toward the 6-hour mark. The reasons are endless: course routing, hole types, green speeds, rough length, and the sheer stakes of the game. But for all the talk, true solutions are scarce. Enter DeChambeau, stage right. After his third round, where he shot a respectable 68, DeChambeau didn't hold back. He explained why being put on the clock was frustrating and offered a simple fix he'd love to see implemented. Let's break it down. DeChambeau believed he had played into a tricky situation on the 16th hole, the long par 3 known as Calamity Corner. He managed a par while the group ahead played the short, drivable par 4 17th in record time. We just kept losing time, DeChambeau explained. Unfortunately, on the 16-17 exchange, you've got a downhill, drivable hole you can play pretty quick if you get it in the right spot. They did that, and we just lost more time to the group in front of us. They put us on the clock, which was unfortunate. But DeChambeau didn't let the frustration get the best of him. He brought his innovative thinking to the interview area, ready to share his solution. As a player who's always looked for ways to change the game, he saw pace of play as a puzzle that needed solving. It's very simple, DeChambeau said. You individually time everybody for their whole entire round. It's not difficult at all. Nobody wants to do it because people are too scared to get exposed. Which I'm an advocate for. I'd love to be timed, and I have no problem with that. My putting, I'm more deliberate and take more time on that. But when it comes to iron shots and off the tee, I'm pretty fast. DeChambeau cited Dustin Johnson as an example, noting that Johnson is incredibly fast on full swing shots but really slow on the greens. Everyone has their unique pace, but most pro golfers are quick off the tee and slow on the greens. Pace of play issues often arise when one group falls behind the group ahead of them. When that happens, officials monitor the group, and if any player takes too long to play a shot, most often 40 seconds when it's their turn, they get put on the clock. Further infractions can lead to penalties, though that's incredibly rare. DeChambeau's proposal? Time each player from the first tee shot to the final putt. I think it would be more fair towards everybody, he said. You know, if somebody is playing slower, the official can go up to them and say, "Hey man, you're over par with your time. All you do is time them for every shot." He gets there, puts the bag down, and how long it takes them to hit that shot. And how long it takes them to walk to the green. It's not rocket science. You time how long someone takes individually, and then you separate that from the other person playing. You stop on them the whole entire thing. DeChambeau believes that with the number of marshals and officials walking with groups during major events, adding a stopwatch to the mix wouldn't be an issue. You know, it's one way. I'm not saying it's the answer, he said. I'm definitely not somebody that has the most knowledge or experience on it. But if somebody has a different way of monitoring it, I hope there's just a better system out there at some point in time. And this is the part most people miss. DeChambeau's solution might just be the spark the sport needs to finally address its pace of play issues. But will the golf world embrace his idea, or will it be met with resistance? That's where you come in. We want to hear your thoughts. Do you think DeChambeau's proposal is the answer to golf's slow play problems? Or is there a better way? Share your opinions in the comments, and let's get the conversation started. Remember, the goal is to improve the game we all love, so let's tackle this issue head on. And who knows? Maybe your idea will be the next big thing in golf innovation. So, what do you think? Let's hear it.